Grade A. Grade A.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Grade A show, man. The Celtics hang banner 18, man.
State your source.
Come on. Bring it on.
I'm about to say L host,
Bring it on. Hey, man. What's good, y'all? Mike, Musa, Clips is here, man. What's good, y'all? How y'all doing, man?
Chilling.
State your source.
State your source, right? Man, y'all see the title above, man. Shout out to the Boston Celtics hanging banner 18. It's been a long week, man. I feel like we haven't been back on here in like a week and some change.
Been a week.
Hey, man, everybody tuning in. Make sure y'all like the channel, subscribe to the channel, continue sharing the platform to help us continue to grow. How y'all feel, man? Got my little champion shirt on. Got my little banner in the back. You know what I'm saying? Another trophy.
I feel good. This was expected. Previous episodes in the past, I said if they're not playing in June, it don't matter what they do.
Hey!
Damn.
How fitting
poster already.
How fitting, man.
Hey! I like it.
Who knew that would have been foreshadowed?
That's what I'm talking about, man.
Who knew that would have been foreshadowed in the finals, though, right? Who knew?
Musa, how you feeling, Musa? How you feeling? Celtics are champions, man. How you feeling? I know you said it was expected.
Sensational. Oh man, I feel great. I don't know why Jason Kidd had Mike T. playing with that shoulder injury. He can't shoot. Like it was obvious. He should have been sitting. But we ain't here to talk about Dallas. We here to talk about the Celtics. They clicked on all cylinders at home. They played great throughout the playoffs. This is going to go down as one of the more dominant playoffs runs, regardless of who was on the court against them or not. This is going to go down as one of the best teams in this in history, honestly, if you look at the statistics and everything. So I love it. I hope they enjoyed this parade yesterday. But now let's get healthy. Let's get ready for the next run because we got a good chance to go back to back.
Mike, where you at with it, man?
We are the champions.
Go ahead, Clips.
Nah, go ahead. I was trolling.
I agree with what Musa said about how it was expected. I don't know what the hell these guys were all saying. No one thought we could do it. I don't think anyone thought they weren't gonna do it. But it's a dominant run without a doubt. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy the Celtics won, but I would have liked to see in a game 7 in there. I would have liked to see some more competition just as a viewer of the product. I think it makes it more interesting for everyone. But overall, it was a good championship run. And I'm very curious to see what happens next year because even without the injuries, I don't see the way any teams are really constructed right now, them putting up much of a fight. I know we have a whole off season still to go, but as of right now, I don't think the rest of the field is too strong. The only thing that makes me question if the Celtics can repeat is what we saw with the Nuggets this year. They might not have that heart and desire to win a championship, seeing now that they got one just like Denver this year.
Yeah, I could definitely see a case on that. I think we're in the league nowadays where you start to tend to see, once people get these accolades, these awards, and these, certain accomplishments and stuff like that, they don't look hungry out there moving forward and stuff like that. Like Anthony Davis is one perfect example.
Mhm.
Like, I think he's like talent is to the roof, exceptional player, but like I feel like with him, he plays when he wants to. And I stated it before the bubble ring. I was like, watch Anthony Davis get this ring, and then you're not going to see him at his apex like that anymore.
Well, we're on Anthony Davis. Did you see Colin Cowherd possibly talking about a trade maybe for Anthony Davis to Oklahoma City? I believe it was.
Yeah, I don't listen to Colin Cowherd.
That'll be wild.
I don't put much stock in what he say when it comes to certain takes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
kind of wild.
same here. I just thought it was an interesting perspective, though, because I think that could really help that team out a lot if they were able to pull that off.
It would. I agree with that. Pace, I think that's a little unfair with AD considering
I didn't
the injuries.
I didn't. That's all. I didn't quite get to finish. What I was stating. Taking consideration of the injuries, taking in consideration that he doesn't have as much help like he did in the bubble with Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee. Yeah, taking all that into consideration, cool. But yeah, it's just I don't know. I see it in other players too. Maybe like I want to say like a Giannis. Like I'm not saying he's not out here hungry, but it just doesn't look the same. It's either it doesn't look the same or it just doesn't have that much of an impact. Maybe it's because it's other teams and other players honing in to those guys' specific talent and stuff like that. So it's just not looking the same to me.
I would say, to your point, I think it looks different for most people now. If you already got over the hump, I think now you become the hunted in a sense. So now I think it might be the same for the Celtics. You got over the hump now. Now it might look a little different now that you've been in these experiences and know how to manage your body, manage the season, and just get ready to be healthy enough to get to that playoff run, and then turn on that switch. So I want to say you're wrong per se, but I do see the difference in certain players throughout the season. But like for LeBron, in a sense, he knows when to turn it on or when it's around that year where it's time to get keyed in. I think that's definitely the same with Giannis when he's that.
Definitely. I think I know you're definitely right. I think guys like those separate themselves from the pack. But like, okay, let's talk about a guy with like Joel Embiid. Like Joel Embiid, talent is through the roof, but I don't think he takes the off seasons. I don't even think he takes the regular seasons as serious as he could be, as in guys like LeBron James and Giannis.
As far as productive on the court or just health?
Just health in general. I think the main problem with him is his health, his conditioning.
I also want to your point, and everyone that's watching, shout out to you guys, like and subscribe. Joel Embiid always had a health issue since he was at Kansas. Like it's always he missed the first 2 seasons, I believe, because of the foot injury he had coming out of Kansas. So this is unfortunately not new. This is actually the norm when it comes to Joel Embiid, and it sucks because we know how talented he is. I saying everyone knows I love Jokic. He could easily be the best player in the league because of the defensive prowess he has along with the offense. I just don't take him over Jokic because of the health issues. But
you know, with age, as you get older, you got to start to do just like with us. We go work out as we get older. Things get a little bit harder. We can't run them sprints like we could have 10 years ago. But if we working towards it, if we're working at our craft every day, then the perfect example is LeBron James. As old as he is, he still looks pretty athletic.
Hey, it's timeless.
But he's the outlier out of most players. Like most players in the league ain't gonna do that. But that's to your point, though. Like people should be looking at him as the blueprint and try to model that as best as they can.
With Embiid too, big guys, all as we see with Porzingis. Unfortunately, Rob Williams is like the most drastic case. It's very hard for these big men to not have lower body injuries all the time with how much weight they have on them. It's just an unfortunate aspect of the game. And it's funny you say that about Embiid too with the conditioning with Jokic. Jokic, I don't think he's really a guy that necessarily takes the offseason as seriously as he could either. I think, imagine what he could do if he was in better shape than he was himself.
Jokic is in great shape. I gotta push back on Jokic because he's one of the more conditioned players in the league, in my opinion.
He's got a good motor, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying overall, he could definitely like change his body type there, like how Wemby and Chet Holmgren, like they have to bulk up. He could slim down and put some muscle on too. I think if he did that, that would make him an even more dominant player than he already is.
I don't see Jokic ever.
Yeah, I don't see Jokic. I don't see just his body type and his build. I don't see him doing that. That'd be kind of wicked, but
yeah, he'll be getting drug tested every game if he put on muscle like a Giannis or something.
But people stated before they see like Jokic looks a little flabby on the outside, but they say like when you see him in the gym, that dude looks like he's strong as hell. So
he lost a lot of weight. He slimmed down a lot these last few seasons.
Man, enough of all these other guys, man. The Celtics are the champions, man. Draco's head, man. What's good, Brody?
I just want to put out there too, Peso. The Celtics played 101 games this season, including the playoffs. They held a 20-point lead in 50 of those 101 games. Just want to put that out there for the dominance. I think they're the only team that have a 50-point, a 40-point, a 30-point, and a 25-point win this season.
Yeah, I remember that 55 point.
I think it's 62. I'm gonna fact check the 60. Also.
Yeah, that was second game of the year, the 55-point win, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Draco, what's good, bro?
Not much, chilling.
How you feeling, man? Celtics are the champs, man.
Oh, I'm good. I ain't had no horse in my race.
Yes, sir, man. So I know we talked about like moving forward. I hear a lot of things with the Celtics possibly becoming a new dynasty, this and that. Is I believe it when I see it, in my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum being what 26, 25 or 27, 26?
27, 26, I believe.
Yeah, 27.
Given them being that age, we know that Boston's going to lock them in for the next couple of years. I don't see anything separating from that whole roster at least until another 3 strong seasons, given that how the market is going in the NBA. Do y'all think that moving forward, can they win another finals in the next 3 years?
I think they definitely can. Let me put it this way. I'm very curious to see what happens this offseason because we know what happened in Phoenix. Necessarily a super team is not going to be able to beat them with just a big three and no depth. But if I believe the past 6 champions have been all different champions, and I'm very curious to see what happens to the offseason. As of right now, I think it's definitely a possibility, but I would not bet on them to repeat at the current moment.
Well, like in the next 3 seasons, even if they don't win next year, do you think they have a chance to get it? Like the year after that, do you think they got a chance to get it?
I believe a few guys' contracts are up, if I'm correct, after the next season, like Tatum and White. Correct? I don't.
Nah, Tatum and White is about.
Tatum still has 2 years left on his current deal. So even if he gets extended this season for the 315 max, that money doesn't kick into the next 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Same thing with Brown. That's why they're able to sign everyone right now because I don't think JB's extension kicks into next season or the following season also.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that trade I sent you, Peso, earlier in the week, that Lauri Markkanen trade that some people were throwing out there too? I think that would be not a bad option either. I think they were proposing trading to Utah Al Horford, a draft pick, and it was either Peyton Pritchard or Sam Hauser for Lauri Markkanen. And I thought that would be interesting too because like it's clear that Horford's going to come back, and I just think if you can get some value for him, I know he's been loyal, and it would be nice to have him finish his career here and everything, but to get some value for him like you did with the Pierce and Garnett trades back in the day, I think you should capitalize on it while you have it.
Danny Ainge
Yeah.
ain't giving us
That'll-
the Laurie marketing.
That'll be kind of wild to take Al Horford off our hands. But, then again, I mean, don't be surprised. Danny Ainge could be just trying to, I don't know, still looking out for the Celtics. I wouldn't be mad at it. I just don't. I thought Al Horford would have retired after winning the chip. He already stated that he was coming back. So, I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll see. That's not a bad trade. I just would have made that move like now, given what just happened and stuff like that. Personally, Draco, you think the Celtics will win another championship in the next 3 years? You know how the league's looking.
It's possible. Like, let's be real. They still got their faults and their mistakes, right? If they could tweak some of those, yeah, they could run away with 3 in the next 5 years. Realistically, get another 2 in the next 5 years. They get another 2, but it just depends on every offensively. They still got to fix some stuff offensively.
Who would be in the Celtics way? Let's go right off of next season. Who would be in the Celtics way? Give me a team that you guys think will really give them competition in the Eastern Conference.
The Knicks.
I think it's. What would you say, Draco? I didn't hear you. Sorry.
Yeah, the Knicks. If they sign back OG and
As currently constructed, yeah, that's
if Randall's healthy, I wouldn't say Indiana, but they put up a little fight. I'm saying besides the Knicks, I don't see nobody.
I'll say the Knicks. I would say, as currently constructed, Knicks, Heat, Miami, Bucks will be my top 3, and then I'll probably go Indy or Philly in either swap.
I think it's all going to come down to the offseason personally, because Philly, they need more pieces in place around Maxey and Embiid. They had just a lot of miscellaneous guys that they were trying to fit in there. Knicks, I think the Knicks got a good core, but once again, it would be nice to have more depth on that bench to rely on, because look at how guys were getting burnt out in the playoffs. And then Milwaukee, what were you going to say, Musa?
To your point with the Knicks, not to cut you off, to your point with the Knicks is depth. A lot of their key players this postseason run was players they had on the bench. DiVincenzo was off the bench. Hart was off the bench. Bogdanovich, who was playing in that first round, who got hurt, he's off the bench. Hartenstein came off the bench, but he stepped in because of Mitchell Robinson being hurt.
I believe that New York is – I think Philly is one of the only teams that could sign it outright like a max deal, but I think New York would have to move some pieces if they want to get another – max player, let's say like a Paul George that's out there or something like that.
What about Trae Young?
I just wouldn't see them having no need to get him with Jalen Brunson.
I don't see it either, but it's just a name that's available. I figured I'd throw out there.
Yeah. Speaking of free agency, man, one move we already had earlier this week was Caruso going to OKC from Chicago for Josh Giddey.
Chicago needs to be banned.
That was
they need to be drug tested, banned. If Michael Jordan didn't play for that organization and bring them 6 championships, I would say relocate. Why would you trade? If you're gonna trade Caruso to OKC, that's one thing. Sure, you could take Josh Giddey. Cool. OKC has an abundance of draft picks, just like Utah. The fact that you just gave away Caruso for no draft picks is I can't wrap my mind around that at all. You just gift wrapped it OKC.
I really didn't get the purpose of Chicago making that deal. Because how old is Caruso? He's not 30 yet, is he?
He's 30.
He's probably 30 at the oldest. But I feel like they're going to be I think they're going to try to just remodel the whole team.
I think this puts the writing on the wall for Ball also. I don't think they're too confident that he'll be able to come back the same guy he was if they're getting Josh Giddey. I think
won't be.
Yeah. I think that's more of it than anything. But I personally myself, I think the Thunder got a steal on this one. I just don't think those players are even comparable right now.
They're already comparing defensive backcourts between Dort and Caruso and White and Holiday. I'm like, can they just play?
That's a little too much.
I mean, I think people got to learn after this finals, just stop, just wait to see it. Stop creating narratives and storylines because we're on TV, we're on podcasts and stuff. Just speak it. Just say what it is. Just speak it to how what it is.
Is it a bad comparison? Defensively?
Luke Dort and Caruso.
Yeah. Let's be honest. How many of y'all actually watched Luke Dort play?
To keep it, I've watched him a lot this season. To keep it a buck, to be honest with you, Caruso, I have as probably like one of the top 5 defensive guards.
None
in
of
the
them
league.
hold a candle to Drew.
Yeah.
But I don't think that he's compared.
I think Caruso and Drew is in the same tier defensively.
We seen Drew do it on the biggest level time and time again.
And the only reason
Caruso
why
did too.
The only reason why I'm not going to say that because Drew Holiday could guard a lot more positions than Caruso, for a fact.
Like such as what positions?
Big man. He's better on the switches.
Than
Easily.
Caruso?
Yes.
Put on the tape. Just when you say switches, that's what I say put on the tape. If you talk about the post, fine. I wouldn't concede that.
Switching from guard to big man, a pick and roll.
Caruso is elite at that too.
I'm not saying he's not. I just don't think he's
done on the
Holiday.
biggest, and he did on the biggest stage.
And Holiday hasn't.
So we
I didn't say he
didn't. So you about to say Caruso's on the same level as
Defensively?
Defensively? Come
Yes.
on, how?
Yeah.
Kevin Durant said it. He said one of the people he be a little shaky with is Drew Holiday. That Slick will got him a contract with.
The thing is, I'm not disputing that. I think they're on the same tier. Those two stand alone, I think, as the best guard defenders in the league.
I'm not gonna hold
Drew
you
and
before this year defensively. Caruso, like Drew's been back tested defensively. I really haven't seen Caruso back tested. This is the only.
What do you mean by back tested?
We've watched Drew year after year be like the best guard defensively, bro. Realistically,
So
this
Caruso
year's
isn't the same?
only year. No, this year's his best defensive year to me.
No, it's not. He was literally first team last season.
I think since he's gotten with Chicago, it's really elevated. Like the Lakers, he was a good defensive guard, but it wasn't as good as it is now since he's been with Chicago.
And then on top
he
of
has been better in Chicago, yes, but he was just as good in LA, which is one of the reasons why people got mad at LA just letting him walk after they won the championship.
To Clip's standpoint, Drew Holiday has been doing this since he's been in the league.
And then on top of it, too, Drew Holiday's proven that he can get your locker room together and win championships now. He's done it in Milwaukee and Boston both. I don't think Caruso has that aspect at all.
I agree with that, but I'm only speaking on defense.
Fair enough.
Camaraderie.
Yeah,
If you
but back
look at the tape, I think you can. It's an argument you can make that Caruso's on that same tier as Holiday defensively. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm not taking nothing away from him or nothing. I just, if you go back to the original question with, Luke Dort and Caruso, I mean, I think White.
It's too early to do it.
Yeah. And Luke Dort is an amazing defensive player. I think he just needs to get better in his decision making defensively and stuff like that. I think he got really exposed with his IQ versus Luka in that series, where he was getting into a lot of foul trouble. Like he looked like just a football player, was just trying to be more aggressive instead of trying to outsmart Luka defensively as much as he could. So I think, he always got room for development, of course, and stuff like that. So, but we got a lot of free agents this season. We got a couple people with player options. I know players like OG, LeBron. Siakam just signed a new deal with Indiana. Tyrese Maxey is a restricted free agent, but I think that Philly's going to be locking him in.
He ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. Players like Nick Claxton, James Harden, Malik Monk.
Malik Monk's staying with the Kings, too.
Yeah.
He re-signed.
Contavious Caldwell Pope has a player option. Miles Bridges, Hartenstein from the Knicks, Klay Thompson. We got players like Tyus Jones, Tobias Harris.
Tobias.
Yeah, so on.
There's a lot of teams looking at Tobias right now too. I guess he's out to prove a point, which he should be.
But what for?
What for? I mean, we know how bad he was in the playoffs, but let's not like he can put the ball in the hoop.
Other than the goldfish commercial, he ain't done nothing recently.
He hasn't, but he on a team he can still get you 16 in this regular season. He had a bad playoffs. I'm not gonna.
We don't need a regular season player. They need a playoff player.
I think.
That depends on what team he's going to.
Yeah, that's true. It does depend.
If he's going to a team that's not competing in the playoffs, then we ain't gonna really talk about the playoffs. But
yeah, the Pistons ain't looking for postseason.
He can go get you 16, depending on the role he's in.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know. Ever since he got that new deal with Philly, it just hasn't been nothing to show for from his side. I think the biggest names right now, I guess Klay Thompson, and we all heard the stories with him unfollowing Golden State. I don't know how true that is. And then we got Paul George. We seen what Joel Embiid did during the finals, with giving Paul George a little look, as if hoping that it seemed like he wants him over there or wants some help from Philly over there, whatever. Where do y'all think that he ends up? You think Paul George stays in LA?
LA.
He made a comment too. I forgot. I think it was on his podcast saying that it's not about chasing rings, which
it's about where he fits, like how the offense is being played.
I don't know. Like, what is your purpose, I guess, of being in the NBA if you don't want to ring? But
it don't sound like he want to win. He just want to play basketball for fun.
It sounds like he's being political. That's really what it is.
He's staying in LA, bro. He ain't leaving home.
I feel like it could be LA, Indy, and probably Philly. But I think he stays in the Clippers.
And then with Philly too, I don't care what Embiid wants, unless Daryl Morey was gonna take some money out of his pocket and go sign him. He ain't going to Philly.
Yeah, I don't know. That dude's another guy where I feel like his reign was really in Indiana. OKC just didn't have enough when he was over there, but it would have been nice to see him.
There's been a rumor that Orlando's been looking to try to get Klay Thompson.
Yeah, that's looking like that.
See that? That would actually be a decent fit for him.
I think it'd just be weird seeing him in that blue jersey.
Right. See, the other thing too is how you mentioned him unfollowing the Warriors on Twitter. I wouldn't read too much into that because it did happen, but I think that's more of a negotiating standpoint than anything. He's going to use that as leverage to try to probably stay there and just get more money out of him. I wouldn't read too much into that.
And then with James Harden too, you think they re-sign him?
Yeah, because he's from LA, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would think he would like to finish out the year in his hometown, because I believe him, Kawhi, and who's the other one that's from there too?
Russ and PG, all of them.
Yeah, all three of them.
Yeah, okay, that's PG. Then that's another thing too.
All four of them is California based.
Yeah, so then PG, I don't know. I don't think he'll go anywhere either. Then, because I think they like being in their hometown, playing for the hometown team, even though it's not the best team in that city. But
Clips, how you feel about your man about to depart out of Golden State, man? Draymond Green talking about it's just funny. It's comedy.
Good. GOOD. I love Klay to death, bro. But at the end of the day, this league is a what have you done for me lately? And from now, present day, up until when we won the chip 2 years ago, it ain't been looking good. Granted, he's been trying to figure out his role. When they won the chip, he was fighting for touches with Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole leaves because he got punched. You know, that's the situation. But even now, you get them shots back and you're not hitting. I'm sorry, it's what have you done for me lately, bro? We can't go from chip to playing, bro. Like, to losing to playing. Like, it don't look that good. The organization wants to win now. Steph ain't getting no younger. Draymond ain't getting more smarter. You getting crazy. Like, you know what I mean? So I kind of like
y'all paid a player that's not getting smarter.
I was just trolling. He is getting smarter. He just like to get angry a little bit. Boy's just angry, bro. He got some anger issues.
We went from where we go from being a distributor for the team, being a facilitator for the team, to slapping people in the face.
Yeah, like I feel like
choking people on the court. Like
I just feel like
that's who y'all want.
I feel like
he mad because he's losing. He can't
He's mad.
he can't put
Yeah.
hands on his teammates no more. So everybody else gotta get it.
Yeah, and that's what it is. And he's tired,
Listen,
right? I feel him like
the
Touch
organization.
Poole. I can't touch Poole. I gotta touch everybody else now. What you say?
Listen, they running a mob situation over there, or something, man, and go to state.
He loves going after the European guys too.
I'm trying to tell you, I want to see Draymond Green. I want to see him test somebody
Hey,
that he
'cause
should
what's
be
it called?
testing.
Wiggins too. They paid Wiggins. What happened to Wiggins?
and Wiggins, yeah, a lot of that's what I'm saying. This year was just showing that a lot of people just didn't show up. I'm okay with that. I'll take that.
Wait,
but-
Golden State paid Andrew Wiggins?
I thought he got paid when Poole got paid.
Wait, so he's not a free agent this year? I thought he was a free agent this year.
Who, Wiggs?
Yeah.
Nah, he's not. I don't
If
think
he's
so.
not, they better hope they ain't pay him. 'Cause
Wow. I got a lot of belief in that, man.
And that was my thing. We put a lot of belief in, like, if the people we put belief into, if they would have played to the caliber, we'd be fine. Nobody would be talking about this. And we had Andrew Wiggins from the finals that was great defensively, averaging like 17 and 10 and 17 and 8. We'll be fine. But when the ship is down and ain't nobody getting numbers, bro, like, ain't nobody getting numbers. It's okay. Clay, I hope you do good in Orlando. That'd be a great lineup. You coming off the bench for who's the two guard? Gary Harris or
Clay ain't coming off the bench with Gary Harris.
You think Clay's coming off the bench?
the reason why I do, honestly, is because, and if you throw him in the lineup, like, yes, it adds a shooter, but it just doesn't. I don't think it does any. Like, we're gonna have Suggs at the 1, you're gonna have Clay at the 2, France at the 3, Paulo at the 4, and
I don't even think Suggs gonna be at the 1. I think they're gonna package and try to get a point guard in my opinion.
Doesn't that mess up they backcourt though? They backcourt was pretty good defensively, right?
Yeah.
So
I think they're gonna do a package deal and try to get a win now guard.
could Clay still play defense?
That's a question for Clips.
At that elite level, no.
No, at an elite level, no.
And these guards faster too now, boy.
Yeah, I don't. I definitely.
He's got to shoot the ball.
I see what Clips is saying.
That's it. He only got to shoot the ball. That's what every team is picking him up for. Every team, when they look at that, like if they're looking to pick up Clay, it ain't about defense.
He's still playing.
Like, we need a spot up. We need a spot up, catch and shoot guy. That's all. Like that's the role he's filling in now.
I ain't gonna hold y'all. If he was still Klay Thompson, he would not be departing right now.
He wouldn't.
He's not gonna depart though. That's the crazy thing. He's gonna go. He's staying in Golden State. So.
Yeah, because I find it weird that they didn't trade him close to the trade deadline if they didn't intend to keep him, because that's a guy I know he's bad as injury problems and the production's gone down, but that's still a name you could have got some capital
he
for.
still can give you 18 a game.
Yeah.
No, they want to keep him. They just want to keep him for a pay cut. He wants $25 million for 4 years. He wants a 4 or 5 year contract. They said we can only promise you 2.
They gave him a 2. They offered him a 2 year, and he turned it down. He wants 3 to 4 years.
Because you got to think about it too. We know from the eye test he didn't look the same, but because we're so fascinated with the old Clay, the media overall. But Clay this season, he still will give you 18, and he shot almost 39% from the 3. That's not 39% from the 3 is not bad, but for a Clay Thompson player, like, of course it's a dip,
for a shooter in this league. Yes, I agree. 39% is now. It's not.
It's not bad.
He went downhill as the season progressed, if I remember correctly, too. Because didn't he start off on fire, and then it just progressively went down as the season kept going on?
But 39% from the 3 is not bad at all.
Caruso shot 39% from the 3.
That's not bad if you're not a shooter.
What I think it is, honestly, bro, is everybody was so used to Clay being a number 2 that now that the dip is there, it's like, damn. Like, he was averaging, 22 for most part of his career up until the injury. So now it's just like he didn't develop his game to where it's like another aspect to his game. So the one thing you're good at, you haven't been good at in the last 2 seasons.
I think you hit it right there on the nails. Like, we're not really seeing his value anymore.
We're not seeing it. Yeah.
Just to clarify, 39% from the 3 for Clay is not bad because the shooting guard position this season shot 37%. So he's just above league average.
At the shooting guard position. So what shooting guards are top tier? Let's think right now
Donovan Mitchell.
that are good shooters.
Oh, they are good shooters.
Because there's not many.
This is 3-point percentages. I'm just speaking of. Just not field goal percentages.
Okay, we talking about shooting guards that could actually shoot the ball.
Yeah,
I'm not even trying to
Probably
think
Devin
about that
Booker,
top of my
Bradley
head.
Beal.
But I'm saying we don't even have to think about it. But the fact that you said that the league average was 37% for shooting guards, correct, Musa?
Yes.
And I'm just trying to think off the top of my head, like two shooting guards, probably other than Clay, that is reasoning why that's at that 37%. Because there's, in my opinion, I don't think there's a lot of good shooting guards.
But I don't think that's for an average. That's not bad. Because I don't think the league has had. They probably have a few seasons, but it's not like you get seasons consistently. Just that positional overall, the 3-point percentage for the season was like mid 40s. Like that would be freaking crazy.
When you get a chance, just look up no rush, but just look up the stats for point guards shooting average.
It's Lily. Oh, I already have it. So to clarify, shooting guards is 37.1. The point guards is 37.2. Those are the highest percentages.
It's basically identical, man.
It's the same. That's what I was saying. 38, and I'm rounding Clay's up for 38 because it's actually 37 point. 38 point. I'm sorry, he shot 39% from three. He's 38.7, so he's above league average. So
I guess it's not bad according to the numbers.
He shot 43% from the field and 93 from the free throw with a 50. I'm rounding up with a 58 true shooting.
It's just showing right now that his output is not number 2 output right now. That's all. He'll be a great third piece. Yes.
So if he goes to Orlando, what option is he?
Third.
Clear.
If you open, you shoot, man. That's why.
Paulo in front.
Paulo in front is 1 and 2. Clay 3.
And to be honest, I think Suggs is definitely a third option over him. I'll finish that sentence for you. When you look at the style of play for Orlando too, it might. Granted, we know Golden State style is open too, but because when you play Golden State, they're so fixated on the defenses is fixated on not giving them the three. You can't. Orlando, you have to worry about the inside presence because of Paulo in front. So then a lot more, depending on how Jamal Mosley can scheme it, he can get some similar looks that he gets in Golden State and Orlando, possibly. But who knows? It depends on how they use him if he was to sign and go to Orlando. I think he stays in Golden State, though.
Y'all know how Tony Parker left the Spurs, went to Charlotte, and just was out the league?
Draco's nasty for this. I know he's going with this. This is nasty.
It might be the same situation, bro.
Nah. That's nasty.
That's a good one right there. That's a good one right there. I hope that doesn't happen to Clay, but you might want to stay in that franchise, buddy. Going somewhere else might do you wrong.
Like, get your farewell tour, man.
I mean, I just feel like.
And I agree with that, Dre. I agree with that. If I'm Clay, I'm taking. I know I played bad. I'm coming back with something to prove. I'm taking a 2 year. If I don't play good, at least I got an organization that love me, bro. Because going somewhere else, they may treat you like RT.
Yeah, it's like you won there. Like
they should have kept Jordan Poole.
I agree. Everybody watching, man. Again, y'all like the channel. Continue to subscribe. I want to do a mock draft. Because we know the draft is going to be coming soon in a couple of days. We're going to do a little live mock draft, and then you guys could pick. We don't have to do no draft order or anything like that. But I'm going to pull up this little thing here.
Yes, sir. This is the real off season. This is the real season, the off season. The GMs. How you going to build a team and all that.
So, yeah. Whoever wants to go first, we'll just keep it in the same order. And then first pick goes to Atlanta. So, Musa, you want to start?
Nah, someone else can go first.
Mike, you want to go?
I'm not going first because I haven't really paid attention to the draft this year. I played like some attention. I know half of the people.
I was gonna say if we're seeing Atlanta's going first, personally myself, I think best fit out of those top two Frenchmen because I think it's pretty much a lock that they're gonna go 1-2, just a matter of what order.
There's been rumors that they might get Donovan too. There's rumors that they might take Donovan.
Yeah, because he was supposed to be the number one pick before we heard about these two Frenchmen. But personally, myself, I am gonna go with Alex Sarr.
Yeah. I like that pick.
You know, it's crazy. I did not know he was that tall.
Yeah, he's tall.
Yeah, he's not 6. I think he's 7'2".
Yeah,
So
he's 7'2". He's 6 like
No. He's like 7'1", 7 foot.
Yeah,
Donovan Klingon,
He's
they have
gonna
him at
play the-
6'7". I heard he's 7'2", which I don't know. But I like the
And
Alex Sarr pick.
why I pick him over Klingon is just because I think he's more athletic than Klingon, and he'll fit in better in Atlanta's system. Because look at how many points they put up, and it's just they want to play that fast-paced offense like Indiana.
And to your point, he can stretch. He's developing that 3-point shot. He has a decent mid range. So he's gonna be able to space the floor, and then that allows them to have more space on the offense. And he can rim protect on defense. And now you have a reason to get rid of Capella.
Yep, without a doubt.
Yeah, I like that pick. Although, because there's been rumblings that Woods might get him at 2, because there's a rumor that, like you mentioned, they might get the other Frenchman, Richard Zachary. I'm probably mispronouncing his name, but him in Washington too will be nice because they
the
need a big.
Frenchmen are gonna be running the league.
Yep, that's true.
So we got the Washington Wizards with the next pick, fellas. I could slide up and down the list as y'all can see. We only gonna do the first round, but
We don't have to go down there yet. No one's drafted those
I
guys
ain't
that
gonna hold
early.
you. I think Washington takes.
They're gonna take Donovan.
Yeah, they're gonna take Donovan.
Ooh,
yeah, we're looking at their roster right now.
that's
with
the first.
Jordan Poole,
Mahimi.
They
Tight.
got David. What the heck is his last name?
Abidanya.
Yeah.
Denny
They got him.
Abidanya.
Yep. So I feel
Bilal
like they-
grew. Also, they said he's like 6'8" now.
You need a center. You got rid of Gafford too.
He's the best rim protector in the draft, other than IE, in my opinion.
And you know, when Jordan Poole throw up them bricks, you got somebody to grab him.
And he can throw lobs too.
And what I love is Donovan can actually pass really well out the post. He's an underrated passer, so I think him going there would be nice. On my mock draft, because there's been rumor he might slip to as low as 7. I thought he can probably go 8 to San Antonio if San Antonio wanted to do like the Twin Tower thing. But
That'll be insane.
Yeah.
I have him going either 7 or 8.
Okay. Who we got next on the clock? The
It's Rocket.
Houston Rockets.
Reed Shepard from Kentucky.
Yeah, that's who they going with for sure.
He's a solid guard. He can shoot the 3 really well, face the floor, can play make. The only thing you need is the defense, but I think the culture that Ime is going to have at Houston is going to help him buy in on the defensive end when he sees everyone else does that. He can play the point a little bit too if need to be, but he might not have to do that. I just think they're going to need more shooting on the offense, so he'd be a great fit for them also.
But that backcourt with they still have Van Fleet, correct?
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
gonna ask.
Jalen Green, I don't know if you'd want to waste that high a pick on someone where
He
you
can
already
come off
got
the
a
bench. And then
Yeah, but
Van Fleet's is like 2 years left on the contract, so you won't need him. You won't have to rush his development either.
yeah, but when you draft guys this high, you're usually not looking at a solid piece to come off the bench. You're looking at a future star right there. That's what you're trying to get with that high pick.
I agree with you and Peso, but considering how, from a household name, this draft lacks that, and considering that Houston's really not a 3rd overall pick team, so they can afford to take a play like Reed Shepard at 3 and not really lose too much from it, considering the pieces they already had in Houston.
I do think with this draft too is like I think it's going to be a couple years for some of these players to develop actually into those stars off of like what Mike said. But I do think like some of these players, like some of these teams like a Houston could possibly get picks like these to have as like key role pieces and stuff like that. And I also think the league is starting to turn into that where you don't really need a lot of stars to win a championship. Maybe 1, maybe 2 co-star, but as long as you have some key pieces and role players, everybody playing their role correctly, I really feel like
and
that's where it's going.
To be honest, if the draft was to go like that, I think Houston's taking Zach.
Yeah,
Because
Zach,
it's like no way he's
yeah.
at third and he slips.
Because think about him going opposite Şengün. I think that would be a great option for them.
So
San
this
Antonio's at 4, I believe.
Yeah, this one's pretty interesting because I believe they have the 4th pick and the 8th.
On my mark, I had him taking Stephon Castle from UConn.
Who hasn't went yet?
Clips.
I think Clips picked the last pick.
Oh, we did. Okay. Well, I was gonna say we gotta take Zachary Rashard off the board because he ain't dropping the.
He ain't dropping to 4.
Yeah,
but
in all reality.
Realistically, what team do you guys think he would end up going to?
Either Washington or Atlanta. He's going 1 or 2. He might go 1 or 2. If they do end up taking Donovan, then he's gonna go 3. But
if
I will say this: if
Detroit take him,
either way, San Antonio got 2 Frenchmen.
I was gonna say this: because San Antonio doesn't really need him, if Detroit can stay at 5 and get him, which I highly doubt, perfect.
Damn, there's a lot of Frenchmen coming out of this draft.
Yeah, I like Stephon Castle for San Antonio, 6'6" from UConn. Great defender. Probably one of the best perimeter defenders in this draft. The only thing he's lacking right now is the shooting, but he's a great finisher at the rim, playmaking defense, and he's a good cutter, which I think will play off of Wemby well. And considering they have the 8th pick, they can sacrifice this and get a bigger guard that can facilitate and get Wemby the ball and Devin Vassell the ball.
Another thing is would that pick possibly get traded for Trae Young?
That's another thing too. Houston might trade too, but
we got Detroit next, fellas.
Take Zachary off the board. We got to get him off the board, and they don't got jack shit over there in Detroit. At the big man position, at least.
Who is this guy? I'm not familiar with him.
He has had a great end of the season, which has helped him get up on the draft board. He's very skilled at his position at small forward. He can shoot, dribble, pretty athletic for his size. I think he's very underrated considering that he can grow into his body and possibly be a solid 2-way defender and scorer. But he's solid. I watched a few clips on him. I haven't got too deep into his full ability though.
He can easily play the 4 too with his height, I think.
Yeah, especially considering how small lineups go sometimes. Like even Stephon can play. He could guard 1 through 4 depending on the matchup.
Yo, is that Nikola kid like Jokic's?
No.
Topic?
No. He actually would have been a top 5 pick. The reason why he fell down to 10 on the rankings because he tore his ACL recently. So, they're saying that it's not as bad. So but his draft stock might take a hit considering that. So
with the 6th pick, we got Charlotte Hornets.
I go with the next Frenchman personally myself.
TJ?
Yeah. Because their backcourt, they got LaMelo if he stays healthy. They got Bridges. I think
Bridges might be gone.
Bridges is a free agent.
Yeah, Seth, but they could still resign him. I think Seth Curry is over there too, if I believe.
Yeah. Way down.
I heard that they might take Dalton Connect.
I ain't gonna hold you. The Hornets need to go back to the Bobcats.
They might take Dalton Connect at this pick next week, and he's arguably the best shooter in this draft. I would love him in Charlotte. I personally think he should go 8 to San Antonio.
That's what I was thinking too for on the last pick when you picked the UConn guy, I believe it was for him. I was thinking they could take either one of those guys.
So we got Portland, fellas, 7th pick. We all think
Matthias.
Whoever's available.
Matthias. Freak athlete at his size. He got a lot to show though. Him or Ron Harlan, to be honest, I like at this pick.
Before we go past the Hornets, can we acknowledge why the hell was Grant Williams celebrating with the Celtics?
He never left.
Yeah, for real.
Wait, he was in the parade.
Bro, he
He
wasn't at
was
the
at the
parade.
game.
Hey, so they invited him on the float and in the locker room when they
he
won.
was on the float yesterday?
Taco Ball was in the hall, in the backstage too.
He
So
did.
was Brandon Miller and them. They was there too.
Wait,
Right,
are you serious? They would hold on.
That was the way I was popping champagne
Yeah, great.
like, at the game with y'all celebrating.
So was the Hornets players. Brandon Miller, Mark Williams, they was back there too. And Taco Fall. Taco Fall's little girl took her first steps back there when they was popping the champagne.
Wait,
Who's
why
Taco
was
Fall play for?
why was Brandon Miller there?
Well,
Grant
that's
Williams
because
come
Charles.
along.
I think no, not that, just that. I believe the one of the people on Missoula's staff. I think he's going to Charlotte next year or something.
Oh yeah.
Is it Lee?
Yes,
Charles Lee?
Charles Lee. Yep.
So that's probably one of the reasons why he was there, getting them to see that what this is like. So he's trying to change the culture possibly. That's probably why Grant was also there too. Other than him used to be there.
That's kind of weird, I guess. But one thing I can say I appreciate was the fact that they said that Jaylen Brown had a lot of kids from the community from his Bridge Gap program in Boston that was on the boat with him and stuff, which was pretty cool. A shout out to him for doing that. Back to the draft though. We got the Spurs with the 8th pick again.
Elton.
Yeah, for sure.
Steven Castle with that pick. So you think so he's a 6'5" small forward. Okay.
Hey, if y'all got time, look at his tape at Tennessee. This boy,
he averaged 22 points a game.
Listen, he a bucket. First of all, he's one of the. I think he's probably the best shooter in this draft, other than Reach. But he can score at all 3 levels. The only thing that you need from him is the defensive end. But I think Pop can get that out of place because defense is a lot about knowing the IQ, but also effort. And I think he's very coachable. So I think he'll be a good fit in San Antonio.
He showed
I
up.
doubt him going to 8 though. I doubt him falling to 8.
Yeah, I thought the Spurs would take him that first time around, but if they could swindle some way to get him down there for sure.
I will say if they don't take Stephon that far, they might take Dillingham from Kentucky too.
So do y'all think like him being this size at 6'5", do you think he'll stick with that at that small forward position?
Yeah, considering how small ball the NBA is, because he could play the 2 also, depending on the lineup.
I think he'll go to the 4.
He'll play mostly the 2.
I'm sorry, the 2. I mean, not the 4. I'm sorry.
He'll play mostly the 2 guard.
If he's on the Spurs, he's gonna be at the 3. With the Vassell at the 2.
So we got Memphis next with the 9th pick. We know Ja's gonna be back going into next season. So who y'all think they're gonna get next?
That boy from Kentucky.
Nah, they don't get Rob. I don't think they get Rob.
You don't think Rob gonna fall at 9th? He'd be a perfect fit for them off the bench.
I was gonna say I'd go with like Cody Williams maybe.
What do y'all think that Memphis like? What do they need? We know Gigi's there. Desmond Bain.
They need scoring off the bench. A guard. They need to actually backup guard
for Ja. I could see that.
Yeah, because they lost Tyus Jones. They got who?
I'm trolling.
Oh. I like Rob Dillingham or Devin Carter from Providence.
I think they need like a small forward, power forward, almost.
Which one y'all want to go with?
If you say small forward, then the best pick is Rod Holland. From G League Ignite. If you go small forward,
you could go either one. It don't really matter.
He's a great defender on the perimeter. He just got to show up that shooting.
Because right now, right, they strong lineup, right? It's like Ja, Marcus Smart, Desmond Bain.
Yeah, Ja, Marcus Smart, Desmond Bain, Jaren Jackson Jr.
I don't even know if they're gonna start Bain and Smart with Ja.
Yeah,
I could see Bain being at the 3, and Smart being at the 2.
6'5"?
At 6'5" with them little arms. No,
I mean, we was just talking about small ball in the league. I could see it happen. I don't think Bain's gonna come off the bench.
I don't. It could happen, but I don't think they would do that.
But who would take the back seat?
Go home.
Memphis is in the same position as Houston. But who's up now? Utah at 10.
What about Zach Edey to Utah?
No, because they already had Walker Kessler.
Nigga, I think you pay Rob and Keontae.
I'm not mad at that. I don't know if he's gonna fall that low to 10. That'll be a good pick. If
Would
they
you
get
have
at
him
10.
also on your mock draft?
I had Rob going like between 7 and 9. I had him going to Memphis personally, so the 9th pick. But
I actually
the
see
reason why I said I don't think he go 10 because I think Memphis steals him.
Yeah, I seen him play a couple of times this year. I think he would be nice, kind of behind Ja, somebody that could groom him a little bit. Hopefully, Ja's on his right path
Yeah,
this season,
that's the
moving
wrong
forward.
person to groom anybody, boy. Somewhere else.
Yeah, unfortunately. So,
I
we got the
think Ja
Chicago.
turned the leaf.
We got the Chicago Bulls next, fellas. We know
They can
that
just trade their pick. I think.
Caruso. We could trade picks in here now.
They can just trade their pick because they ain't. That's the Chicago-like thing to do.
Who would y'all like to trade him to?
I don't think they're actually gonna trade the pick, but I was just
Okay,
saying that's
we
something
could
they
make
would do.
trades.
I mean, they shouldn't. What should they pick up?
Well,
Zach
We
Levine.
know DeMar's a free agent. They're probably gonna get off of Zach Levine. Caruso's gone.
Considering what they have, what's left on the board at the moment.
I think Nikola Topic has his name written all over.
I was about to say
Chicago
Nikola
now.
Topic is he's a for sure next pick. Like he's too
You
talented.
got
He won't be on the
topic and Nikola Vujicic, the Nikola brother.
Yeah, why everybody from Serbia got some type of Nikola in their name?
Nikola Jokic.
The
Topic.
dude that plays for Miami too, ain't he Serbian?
Yeah, Jovic, yeah.
I think they use first names as last names out there or something, man.
We gotta look up what Nikola means. It might be
this is
some
nasty.
type of rich name.
Hey, I ain't traveling out the country with y'all. I'm gonna get me stuck out there.
OKC got the 12th.
They're in a perfect situation.
So we know they just got Caruso. Gordon Hayward's going to be a free agent this year.
They could
And
probably
everybody
trade
else.
down.
How about Zach Edey to them? They need a big man.
I like that.
Mm.
But I really like Tristan DeSilvia from Colorado. They need more scoring. But Zach Edey would be a bad pick. I can live with that Zach Edey pick.
I would actually like this to be with Chet, but I wouldn't like them playing at the same time.
Well, they can because Chet can space the floor.
Yeah, Chet's at 4. He ain't a 5 in my opinion.
So who you taking up the strong lineup? Jalen Williams?
No, Giddey just.
Yeah, I would put Jalen at the 3. Ain't he small forward?
I see what you're saying. Zach Edey's coming off the bench.
Okay, cool.
He's not starting.
Yeah, okay.
No, he's not starting.
Yeah, I wouldn't personally
you
like.
Got Shea Dort. You got Shea Caruso Dort
or Jalen Williams,
J Dub and Chet. That would be starting 5.
Yeah,
that's the reason why I like some of the pieces they have off that bench. Aaron Wiggins, Isaiah Joe, but I feel like they need a legit playmaker off that bench, which is why I was looking at a Devin Carter. But I love the you score back. I can't. Never mind. I like Tristan Sylvia also, but he's not a guard. But that's just they need more scoring off that bench. Zach Edey would be a good pickup for them.
Kings got the 13th pick, fellas. What y'all thinking?
Tristan.
Tristan De Silva.
They need scoring at the wing. Well, you could go Cody also because Cody could 6'6". He could probably play the 3 at some point.
I go Tristan De Silva myself
because they need more scoring on that wing position, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I don't. Keegan Murray didn't do what I thought he would have done this season, but I feel like this might be his breakout year, possibly. They got good guards off their bench, so I think another small forward that can score. And he's not one of the younger guards either, so he can come right in and play a valuable role early for them.
We got Portland.
Players, excuse me.
Portland again with the 14th.
Cody.
Cody. I was going to say Devin Carter, but Cody's good. Their draft thing just seems to be taking the highest guy available.
They got they got too much of everything but the wing position. I wouldn't be mad about Jacoby Walker from Baylor. Or Walter, I can't see.
Oh, I think this just had me do the lottery, fellas.
That's it.
So I wanted to say one person that I think would be a perfect fit for Phoenix is Tyler I can't pronounce his last name. From Marquette, the lefty point guard from Marquette. He's perfect for them. He could play a Gordon Dragic, a Mike Conley type role for them, which is exactly what they need, a true point guard who can facilitate, give them easy shots, and hit the three. So I like him going to Phoenix. I forgot what pick Phoenix has. But that's someone I was looking out for.
You don't think they'll draft Bronny?
What was that, Mike King Draco?
Go ahead, Mike.
You don't think they'll draft Bronny in Phoenix? I've heard a lot about that, possibly.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I did my own mock draft just for the first round. I was looking at the second round. I was being nasty. Not really nasty in my opinion, but to the media's eyes. I was thinking Boston with that second round pick could take Bronny if they could.
I've heard that, but that's not the first time I've heard that. But I don't think I really don't. Unless the team wants LeBron, I don't see why you would draft him yet. Just personally, myself.
Yeah.
Are them boys in Phoenix going to allow a young point guard to play point guard? Realistically,
Yeah, I think so. Because who's the coach over there now?
Budenholzer?
Yeah, Mike Budenholzer. Yeah, I think that he will because Mike Budenholzer is a defensive sounding coach.
I mean, he is, but it's like
I don't think Tyler's going to get drafted to just start off rip, but I think they'll make some tweaks to that roster to where they need playmaking.
Like, let me ask you something. Do you see anybody in the draft that's almost like a Rondo type that could adjust in the league quick and command vets to really?
Not this draft. No, I don't even see someone that could be Mike Conley. You know, I like Tyler Collette from Marquette, but now Mike Conley out of Ohio State was a problem. Tyler's not that. He's more on the Gordon Dragic side, but he's a very good playmaker and he can shoot the three. And he's 6'3", so I just like that for him because he could come off the bench and run the offense if needed, and that's something that Phoenix lacks other than defense.
Because most of them seem like ISO scores, in my opinion, between KD, Booker, Beal.
Yeah, there's a lot of like it seems like in this draft there's a lot of like 6'8" wings, a lot of shooters and stuff like that.
I love Tyler Smith for Boston out of the G League Ignite, the 6'9" forward. I like him also.
What would you guys think about this? What if we know OKC has a ton of draft capital. What if they traded up to get Donovan Clingan?
How high they traded up though? That's the
top. You got to get top 3. He ain't gonna be gone. He ain't gonna be there after that. I don't think.
I don't think they trade that high.
Yeah, I agree with Clips because I'm trying to think. You have Houston. Who's the top 3? Houston, Atlanta, Washington. Houston, they won't trade with them.
I think they trade to get a veteran piece because I think that's what they really needed.
Mm-hmm.
I do like Bub Carrington out of Pitt, to 6'4" guard. Also, there's a lot of decent like crafty guards in this draft that I like. Isaiah Collier, Bronny's teammate from USC, is really good. He's probably going to go first round also. But this is going to be the draft that you could fill up your roster with, and then you might get a couple stars or maybe all-star players out of this draft. But I love drafts like these because you might get a legit star out this draft. You never know. It's all about the way they go and how they get developed.
So you're going to say, Payson?
I was going to say the draft is next Wednesday, right? Thursday.
Yeah, the 26th. It's a 2-day draft for the first time. They're doing the 26th and the 27th.
We still have 3 teams without coaches too. We got a draft a week away.
What teams? Detroit?
Washington, Detroit.
And it might only be 2 after the Lakers, but I thought it was 3.
The Lakers signed.
Yeah, they got Redick.
JJ.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I seen UD mention this on First Take, and I kind of like his scheme. Washington wouldn't be a bad fit as a coach if I was looking to coach somewhere. Washington, because I can actually get a chance to build the team instead of going to like LA like JJ where you got to win now. You see how quickly they get rid of coaches. But in Washington, you got more grace to actually build a mold.
Everybody don't know how to build a team though. That's the issue right now.
Well, that's true too, and it's also, front office has a lot for that too because front offices they get players just off a name. They don't even care about development. They just want them because they're gonna put people in the seats and things of that nature. But that's a whole political side of the A that we can get into in another day.
Yeah, definitely want to have a segment in the future, like ranking the top coaches, not top coaches, but ranking all coaches of the 2024 season. I think we should do that soon. That'd be pretty cool.
Yes, sir.
What do we think about Monty Williams getting fired too? That's just crazy.
He didn't even want to be there in the first place. So
He really didn't want to be there.
He didn't want.
You know what's the crazy thing? All that money that they owe him is guaranteed.
I know. That's why I'm saying. That's the third different coach in 3 years it's going to be now, I believe. And you're going to owe all this money out. It's just, why would you sign him to that contract in the first place if you weren't fully committed to him? It makes no sense.
They were desperate. But I will say this, on a lighter note, I just sent all my prayers to Monty because I think it's been reported that his wife has cancer. So there's praise to him because he's been through a lot these last 7 years. With his last wife that passed away tragically when he was in OKC. So that's why I feel bad for both sides. I feel like he was in it mentally in Detroit, given everything he's dealing with, because we know we all human. So,
man, we're gonna get out of here, fellas. Everybody tuning in, we thank y'all for being here. The Grade A family, everybody on YouTube. You guys continue to like the channel, continue to subscribe, share the channel, leave a comment down below if you feel the need to do so.
Mike, you already know what it is with that boy, CM Punk. We're gonna talk later.
Yeah, for sure.
Appreciate it, y'all. We'll be back next Saturday for another episode. Peace.
Yes, sir.
Grade A.
Hey, run that thing up.